Hello there and welcome back. My name is Fotios and this is the Game Code. Today we're having a look at Micro Hero Hercules, which is a solo-only game designed by Léandre Proust and published by Graham's Editions. The crowdfunding campaign of this game will soon launch on Kickstarter, and the publisher was kind enough to send us a preview copy which I played, and I am here to give you an overview of the game, how it plays and what I like about the game. Micro Hero Hercules, it's a small 36 cards only game, and this is a solo only game, and the basic mechanic here is deck building. In this game you take the role of Hercules and you are trying to go through the 12 labors, and basically this is a micro campaign game in the sense that each time you play the game you're trying to defeat each of the 12 labors of Hercules. Each of the labors takes about 15 to 20 minutes to complete, so if you go through all 12 labors, this is about 3 to 4 hour gameplay within this micro game, but of course you can play it as many times as you want. There are no legacy elements in this game, or play a few labors and then stop it, keep the game as is, store it for later, and then continue campaign later on. The core mechanic of the game is deck building, and this is done in a very simple fashion. You start the game with 10 cards in your deck and some cards in your reserve, and all of the cards are basic cards. They have the non-upgraded sides on, and this could be either training cards, defense cards or attack cards. Each turn has a few steps. First, you draw 5 cards from your deck of cards. In the planning phase, you have 5 cards in your hand, which you arrange in order such that the top card in your arrangement actually will activate 5 times, the second card will activate 4 times, and so on and so forth. By arranging cards in this particular manner, you basically accumulate icons, and if you have 5 basic non-upgraded cards, you will have 15 icons in total. 5 icons, virtual icons from the top card, 4 from the second card, and so on and so forth. And then, based on how many icons you have, you can do a set of actions, you can do a lot of training, or you can attack the labor, or you can have defense against the labor's attack. Once you have played all cards in your planning phase, then you count how many icons you have of each type, how many experience icons you have, how many attack icons you have, and how many defense icons you have. First, using the experience icons, you get to buy new cards from your reserve, or get to upgrade the top card of your discard pile from its non-upgraded side to its upgraded side, which has basically more icons of the same type, or even place a card from the discard on the top of a draw pile. After you have utilized all your experience icons to buy or upgrade cards, then you utilize your attack icons. So you count how many icons you have for attacking the labor, and then you compare this against the labor's defense. So basically you divide. Let's say you have 8 attack versus 3 defense. This means you're going to basically do 2 damage to the labor, so the labor's health will reduce by 2. After you attack the labor will attack you, and in that case you count your defense icons and you compare this against the labor's attack. And if the labor's attack is greater than your defense, then you take 1 wound from the 3 wound cards in your reserve. This wound directly goes to your discard pile, and basically it will make your deck of cards worse, because you may draw one of the wounds later on in the game, so you have less active, effective cards to play. But also at any point in the game, if you take a hit and there are no more wound cards to put in the discard pile, then you'd automatically lose the game. Once you finish with applying experience, attack and defense icons from the cards you played, you put all of these cards in the discard pile, you draw 5 new cards and you start a new round. And you go like that until either you defeat the labor or the labor defeats you. If you do defeat your labor, what happens? You take the labor's card and you put it in your reserve for the next labor. So this defeated labor is basically an upgraded card, which gives you abilities or icons that are better than the icons of the basic cards. Also, after defeating every labor, you need to basically reset all your upgraded cards to the non-upgraded side. And then you have the option to choose 2 preparation actions for the next labor, and these preparation actions may be from removing wounds from your deck, or maybe upgrading some cards for free to begin for the next round, and so on and so forth. Then you pick up the next labor, you set up again around the labor its defense, its attack, and its health points, and you start against the new labor. You continue like that, defeating labor after labor, and as you do so, you accumulate nice labor cards in your reserve, which you may buy and upgrade and have them available in your own deck. And by doing so, you manage to have a deck that is much better labor after labor. To balance this out, once you have your next labor in play, you need to increase its health points by 1 for each labor you have defeated so far. Micro Hero Hercules, it's a very satisfying and very interesting micro solo game. Again, it consists of just a deck of 36 cards. The main mechanic here is deck building. You start with some basic cards, but as the campaign progresses, you start having the defeated labors within your deck as cards you can play, so you become quite powerful. And also your character, Hercules, comes with 2 postures, they call the game, or 2 statuses if you want. One is the Make It Rain, and the other one is Overcharged, that allow you to do some special abilities during the game, and how you utilize these abilities, it's actually a quite crucial part of the game. Now the game is primarily solo, but the publisher has also some rules for a 2-player game. Assuming you have 2 copies of the same game, you can play in a 2-player mode by doubling the labor's health points, and basically both players attack the same labor. So it's kind of a cooperative 2-player variant of the game. Also, it appears that the publisher would like to continue investing in this Micro Hero series. So now we have Micro Hero Hercules, but maybe later on we can have other Micro Heroes, and you can mix and match which hero you are playing with against which challenges you try to overcome. Overall, I believe this is a very interesting game. I really enjoy my time with it, I really enjoy my games with it, and I'm really looking forward to go back to it to play another campaign, because it's very simple to set up, to play, quite fast, it's quite satisfying, it's easy to put together back to leave the campaign at a particular point and continue on later on. I do believe this is a solid solo game, and it's a recommendation for me. So if you think that this is something that strikes your fancy, please have a look on the Kickstarter campaign, and I have a link for this in the description of this video. Also, let me say again thanks to Games Edition for sending me a preview copy of this game, and thank you so much for watching, and see you later. Bye bye.